Good day, ladies and gentlemen, viewers and subscribers all over the world. This is Okute Daily Talk Channel News, bringing to you live and breaking news about the Biafran struggle, and the federal government files 7 fresh charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all in the quest to stop him from what he knows how to do best, all in the quest to make sure that they turn against him in any way they can. Malami, Buhari and the rest of the Fulani cabals are doing everything humanly possible to make sure that they did not set our leader free, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even when the courts have discharged and acquitted him, still yet they still stick on because they don't have any respect for the rule of law, neither do they respect the appeal court judgment. So we are going to look into this very breaking news concerning our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and also we have another news. Court Nnamdi Kanu issues 7 directives to IPOB supporters. So we are going to look into these 2 different matters as we proceed. Please tighten your seatbelt. Listen attentively because we are about to move. This is a breaking news, and I want each and every one of us to take it with an open heart, whatever it is. The bottom line is that we must achieve our aim. That is the final goal of Biafra restoration and the freedom of independence of Biafra. So that is where we stand, and that is where we are going. So whether they like it or not, if they like, they can amend all the whole charges. They can even make it to 30 or 100 charges. But the bottom line still remains that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is coming out soon, and is coming out as a glorious man. So what Malami, Buhari, and the rest of the Fulani cabals are doing have nothing, and I repeat, it have nothing to do with the Biafran restoration. They can only do their gra-gra, but the final whistle determines who win and who lose. So please, my dear people of Biafra land, the lovers of freedom and lovers of mankind, we are about to move now. Please grab your popcorn, grab your coke, whatever you can lay your hand on. Let us move straight into the news of the day. Breaking news: federal government files 7 fresh charges against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The bill to get the embattled leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, released from detention has just suffered a setback, as the federal government filed amended charges against the agitator. I laugh in Spanish. Good News recalls that a court of appeal order on October 13, 2022 discharged Kanu of all the allegations against him by President Muhammadu Buhari's government. However, the Department of State Service DSS has continued to keep the Biafran agitator in its custody based on the subject matter still pending before the Supreme Court. Also, the trial justice Binta Iyaku had earlier slated that the following Monday for both Kanu's team of lawyers led by Chief Michael Zekome and the prosecution counsel to address the court on the way forward in the matter. The parties are to argue on whether federal government could proceed to rearrange the IPOB leader on the amended charge despite appeal court's verdict earlier. And I still speak and I still stand that the federal government or any government of whatsoever have no any single right to hold Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to death. They have no any single right as long as the high court of the jurisdiction, appeal court in Nigeria, have set him free. So he is free and 100% free indeed. Not in Nigeria, not in any court in the world have every right to subject Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to any kind of inhuman treatment. Not now and not ever. So whatever they are doing, just let them be rest assured that the international community is watching, and they will receive their payment in their own coin. That is the promise from the IPOB. Amid a document monitored by Okute News on Vanguard revealed that the amended charge marked FHC Abuja /CR/383 2015 entered before the Federal High Court in Abuja contained all allegations against IPOB leader that the trial court earlier sustained. Buhari's government maintained in the document that Kanu had, as a member of the proscribed group, in a broadcast that was received and heard across Nigeria, issued a deadly threat that anyone who flouted his sit-at-home order in the southeastern part of the country should right his or her will. It told the court that due to the threat, banks, schools, markets, shopping malls, and fuel stations domiciled in the eastern state of Nigeria have continued to shut down their businesses, with citizens and the vehicular movement grounded. My question to you, Malami and President Muhammadu Buhari, are you in any way want the progress of the eastern zone? You have never contributed any single thing to it. You keep on maltreating the Igbos as if they are second-class citizens in the country of their own. They fought for the independence of this country. What you people are enjoying now is a product of our forefathers who fought tirelessly to make sure that Nigeria gets its independence. But now, you people have turned against Nigeria, against the Igbos in every ramifications. So now you are telling us that because of the wars of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that is why the economy of the eastern states is domicile. So let me reply you in this regard. Buhari, you lied. You never in any way want that eastern zone to be anything in life. That is the gospel truth. Because you cannot tell me that in among the whole eastern zones, there's no anywhere that is suitable to have a dry port. You carry dry port from Lagos to Kaduna. All these things is just to tarnish or to maltreat the Igbos, who you know that they all are the ones that is into importation of goods. So when somebody goods land in a island Lagos, then they will transfer it to dry port in Kaduna. Then from there they will transfer their goods to either to Owerri, to Abia, to Enugu, or to Onitsha, or to other parts of the eastern zone. And you tell me that you want their economy to grow. You lied. How many seaports do we have in Lagos? We have already a Apapa seaport. Now there is a deep seaport in Badagry. Is our rivers in the eastern region is not enough to handle a seaport, even if it's a medium seaport. Now you are coming out here to tell us that it's because of what Nnamdi Kanu said. That is why the schools and the rest of them are shut down. In Zamfara State, how many schools are shut down because of bandits? Even in Abuja, as we are talking now, a lot of schools, 95% of schools, public schools and the private schools in Abuja have been shut down because of security threats. Is that caused by Nnamdi Kanu or IPOB? Is that a threat or ESN? Can you people tell yourself the truth and forget about all this garagara you are doing? Whatever you people are doing, at the end of the day, you find out that you are the one to lose, because Nnamdi Kanu can never lose anything. Believe it or leave it. He told the court that due to the threats, there's no any threat whatsoever. Sit at home have been there. Even when he called off the sit at home, people respected him as the leader of the IPOB, who want the best and nothing but the best for the eastern region of the nation. They respect him. They obey him. Even when he said enough is enough on the sit at home, but they still said no until you are free from the custody or the dungeon where they are kept you and they are maltreating you. Federal government further alleged that the IPOB leader had on various dates between 2018 and 2021 made broadcasts that were received and heard in Nigeria, inciting members of the public to hunt and kill Nigerian security personnel and their family members, thereby committing an offense punishable under Section 1, Subsection 2, Subsection H of the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2013. Let me make this clear to you, Malami and Buhari. How many security operatives have been killed in the course of the bandits, terrorism, and IPOB in the south and in the northeast and the northwest of the country? It is uncountable. How many of them are being killed in Benue State on daily basis? It's uncountable. So you cannot then tell me that he said that, and that is a mere words of mouth. And none of the IPOB is not known for violence. They are not known for killings. IPOB is known for unity, love, understanding. We love one another and we will maintain peace and order. So get that into your Discord, Mumu. More so, it's alleged that Kanu directed members of the IPOB to manufacture bombs. I hear you. Adding that the defendants had, between March and April 2015, imported into Nigeria and kept in Ubuluzo, in the local government area of Anambra State, within the jurisdiction of this honorable court, a radio transmitter known as Tram 50L, concealed in a container of used household items, which you declared as used household items, and you thereby committed an offence contrary to section 47 subsection 2 subsection A of Criminal Code Act cap C45 laws of the Federation of the Nigerian of Nigeria 2004. Let me make it clear to you. Nnamdi Kanu have never committed any offence. All these things you and Malami and the Kabas are putting up just to make sure that you detain him until after the 2020 election. Listen to me. As long as you keep holding that young man, the peace have departed from the eastern region, because almost all the whole eastern region is being controlled by Nnamdi Kanu. And let me put it to you that all these things you are saying, that he made this, he made that, and all this and that. Nnamdi Kanu is not bigger than the terrorists, the Boko Haram, the bandits that the federal government keep on negotiating on daily basis. So if you want peace for the eastern region, if you want the growth of the eastern region, why can't you negotiate with Martin Nnamdi Kanu? Why can't you sit down and say, let's talk one-on-one to know what exactly is the problem and how we are going to resolve it? You have never done that. All you can do is keep on releasing Boko Harams who have been jailed in a maximum prisons and hold an innocent agitator just for words of mouth. But the ones who have set the country ablaze, who keep on maltreating and killing and maiming the citizens of Nigerians, foreigners in our land, when they were being held in any police station all over the country, order will come from above for their release. Yet you are here telling us what Nnamdi Kanu said and how he directed. How many guns have Nnamdi Kanu acquired? I'm still waiting to see on all this your news, on all this your write-ups, where you have said that Nnamdi Kanu imported 1 million AK-47 for the ESN, or you have imported bombs to give the IPOB so that they will keep bombing all the whole police stations. The jailbreak in Imo State is being orchestrated by Ebubagudem and Hope Uzodinma, coupled with what do they call it? The former IG of police. Because that is that happened. Not even up to 30 minutes that it happened. He come on a live TV and said that prison break is done by IPOB. What's IPOB looking inside the prison? I am still shocked that today that prison break in Kuje, or that attack on a Kuje prison, that nobody have mentioned IPOB so far, or the attack on a Nigerian railway, the train victims. No one have mentioned IPOB. I'm still waiting to hear that, because I know a time shall come when you people will gang up and say that all those people that perpetrated that act is from IPOB land or from Igbo land. Because Igbo people have not done anything to you people. We have left the government for you people for so long since the democracy came to Nigeria. And we said, you people can do whatever you like, just give us Biafra, we are okay. We don't want your oil and we don't want your government, we don't want whatever development you are bringing to every part of the country. I have seen development in the north, whereby in the north they hold the most highest power. Almost all the whole security operatives are from northern part of the country. But you go there, you will find out that is the worst place you can ever live in this life, because I have lived in the north, where you can have over 1 million of Almajiris begging food on the street, living on a dilapidated environment, simply because the government refused to care for them. Government refused to teach them well. Rather, you send them to Arabic school where they learn all sorts of rubbish, and they come out tomorrow to become a bandit and a terrorist here and there. Nobody is saying about that. You are here talking about Nnamdi Kanu and whatever that has happened. then your presidential candidate who you brought is a drug dealer, a drug kingpin, and also a money launderer, and you want him to come to Nigeria to become a first district in Nigeria, so that he will legalize nicotine and also launder money anyhow they like. After all, he had done it in 2019 during the elections. The only single man in Nigeria who have brought billion van to his house. Up to today, that matter has been swept under the carpet. But let me assure you, you see this matter of narcotics, it will never be swept under the carpet, because everybody's eye is open. We are waiting to hear what happens. Before February 25, that the election will take place, Tinubu will have nowhere to go. Believe it or leave it. I have seen where Adamu is saying that only God and Buhari can stop Tinubu not to become the president. Yes, I believe you. Buhari can rig the election, and God can allow that to happen, because none of them have been sworn in by Ogun or Ayelara or Amadioha. Let me see how they will survive it. Please, my dear people, let's move into another news. Court, MNK Kanu issues 7 directives to IPOB and supporters. So let's hear what our leader has to say. The leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, MNK Kanu, is ready to lay down the battle towards regaining freedom from the detention of the Department of the State Security Service. Kanu, in an effort to regain freedom, had approached the Supreme Court after the federal government failed to obey the court ruling ordering his release and compensation. The IPOB leader, ahead of the Supreme Court ruling, had issued 7-point directives to IPOB and his supporters. The counsel to Kanu, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, revealed this in a statement released after the routine visit to IPOB leader at the headquarters of DSS in Abuja. Kanu, in the directive, called on his supporters ahead of the court ruling to be cautious of their enemies and maintain peace in all quarters. That is what Kanu is saying. The IPOB leader further stated that IPOB is a peaceful self-determination movement. Of course, that is what we represent. The separatist leader, in a second point, condemned all forms of criminalities and those behind them, adding that he was not giving any order to any group to engage in any form of criminality. The statement read, furthermore, Onyendu directed me to use the foregoing statement, 1, that this critical time calls for the greatest circumspect among his followers, because the enemies are relentlessly exploiting the vulnerable to sustain their status quo and further blackmail the IPOB, ably led by MNK Kanu, which is a peaceful self-determination movement. Are you hearing it? 2. He has a hard stance in the condemnation of crimes and dissidents, and reiterated that he has never condoned nor supported criminality of any form. Hence, the criminal elements who are involved in making life unbearable to our people should be immediately fished out and dealt with as such. They have no place in IPOB peaceful self-determination movement. That is, he's talking about the criminals who are going about doing all sorts of things. I see a lot of them being caught, and when they ask, he say, I'm ESN, I work for IPOB, and I know all these things are set up just to make sure that they blackmail the movement. But no matter all they are doing, the international community is watching. Number 3, that the general public and indeed his people should be notified in unmistaken terms that nobody is receiving any instruction from him for the purpose of encouraging dissidents' behaviors, and accordingly, they associate himself from any person or persons who is mischievously feeding the public with such blatant falsehood. Kanu stressed that he has since made his stance public, which position is clearly contained in a viral short clip recorded during one of his appearances in court. Number 4, Kanu reiterated his call for total calmness in the entire southeast region, and particularly queried the mental state of those who are relentlessly waging war against his people, the very people he has sworn to protect and make life better for. Number 5, Kanu's movement was founded on a peaceful bedrock in consonance with the universally recognized rights of indigenous people to self-determinations. as clearly encapsulated under the extant laws. The number 6, that the activities of the dissidents and the marauders who engage in criminal activities have further emboldened the Nigerian security agents to unleash terror on innocent people of the southeastern region. Number 7, in conclusion, Kano reminds Umuchineke to note that the successive landmark victories he recently recorded in various courts of competent jurisdictions against the federal government of Nigeria may not have gone down well with his traducers, including the federal government. Hence, he insists that all hands must be on deck to enable sound minds to identify the real enemies in our midst, and those being used by the establishment to try to implicate and or blackmail him. Ejiofor, speaking about the court case, said a date will soon be fixed for the hearing of Kano's appeal against the order staying the execution of his judgment. That is all we get to hear, and that is all the advice from the Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who has sworn that never to give up in this struggle. He is there, and he continues to maintain his stand that unless something different is done, without that, you can never accept anything less than that. What is the thing he's asking for? A referendum to the Biafran nation, so that we can be on our own. Whatever we produce, we can at least, if we like, we can pay tax to the government. If we don't like, because we don't expect any allocation from them. But let us develop our own side with what we gain, with the revenue we raise from our own side. We don't need your oil. We don't need whatever it is. We don't need your gold and diamonds. What we need is just allow us to be on our own, and you will see that we have China and Japanese in Nigeria. We're not talking about Africa. We have China and Japanese in Nigeria. Oil theft. Suspect rejects extradition, sues federal government. The crew of the crude oil carrier MT Heroic Idun has asked the Federal High Court sitting in Abuja to stop the federal government from illegally executing their extraordinary rendition of the vessel from Equatorial Guinea to Nigeria. The Punch area reported that the vessel, which can lift about 3 million barrels of crude oil, was seen around the Total Energy self-anchorage operated by the IPOB field on August 7, but evaded arrest in Nigeria and fled to Equatorial Guinea, where it was later arrested. There was speculations at the time that the vessel has lifted crude oil from the oil field. However, the Navy admitted that the vessel arrived at the Akpo field at midnight on August 7, 2022, with the obvious intentions of lifting crude oil within the field, but had no chance to load before being accosted by the Nigerian Navy ship Gongola at the oil field terminal. A source told our correspondent that Equatorial Guinea agreed to hand over the vessel to Nigeria on November 6 for further investigation after 2 months of diplomatic negotiations. Meanwhile, the claimants told the Abuja court that because there was no extradition treaty between the two countries, any alleged attempt to pressure Equatorial Guinea to extradite them to Nigeria would be illegal and violate their rights under Nigeria and international law. Can you see it? Can you see it? Even those who come to our land and thief our oil are quoting the law to Nigerian government that they have no any single right, and Equatorial Guinea and Nigeria have no treaty of anything of any sort of rendition. So forcing the Equatorial Guinea to hand over those people who are involved in all this oil theft to Nigerian government is amount to illegal, and they will not take them illegally, but they will travel all the way to Kenya to adopt and they kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu illegally and brought him back to Nigeria, and the world is watching. We know what is happening. We know who our real enemies are. Without being told, UK is the enemy of Biafra. Starting from the onset, they are enemy of Biafra. We know the United Nations are enemies of Biafra. We know the European Union are enemies of Biafra. Even the ECOWAS, who was formed and founded by Nigerians, they are enemies of Biafra. They don't want these people to go, because when they go, a lot of things will happen. When they go, they will know that there is China and Japan to get joined together in Nigeria. I'm not talking about Africa. Africa people, they can go and do their own thing. But listen and listen good. No matter what they do or they say, you see where we stand. Biafra is in our mind, and that is where we stand. And that is the last bus stop. We are not going to wait for anybody. We are not going to be contested for anything. If the United Nations like it or not, they can keep silent for all we care. But let them know that the time shall come when they will know that the Biafrans really have allies. Watch out. Through their lead counsel, Babajide Koku San, the crew prayed for the cause intervention. They recounted as false the Nigerian Navy's claim that MT Heroic Edon attempted to illegally load crude oil from Akpo terminal in Nigeria. Not in particular that the Navy admitted in a statement on August 19, 2022, that it found no crude oil on MT Heroic Edon. They added that the vessel and the crew were unlawfully arrested by the Equatorial Guinea Navy under pressure from the Nigerian Navy. The MT Heroic Edon, with 26 persons on board, comprising 16 Indians, 8 Sri Lankans, 1 Polish national, and 1 Filipino national, was arrested on August 22, 2022 by the Equatorial Guinea Navy shortly after the vessel left Nigerian waters. Come, these people are trying to turn this case upside down. This is the same vessel they told us that he loaded more crude oil that's worth more than $3 billion, about $3 million. Now they are saying that the vessel have no any crude. They just arrested them. I mean, I don't understand what is happening. Or they have sold the crude oil and now they're bringing this into our news. Here, Nigerian Navy, on a try with your fake working experience. Vessel entered your territory. You don't even know. You don't detect it until when the territory, the vessel is about to leave. That is when you start to pursue the vessel, and it ended up in Equatorial Guinea. Ado on our way down, Dara, mad people everywhere, fearing their unlawful removal from Equatorial Guinea to Nigeria on the Nigerian Navy's request. The 26 applicants and the vessel filed a fundamental rights enforcement suit marked FHC/Abuja/C8/2058/2022. The Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Attorney General of the Federation, and the Nigerian Navy are the respondents. The applicants averred in an affidavit in support of the originating application that on July 18, 2022, the charters of the vessel requested a letter of comfort from the owners for loading at Akpo terminal in Nigeria, which likened theirs for loading of August 17 and 18. On August 4, 2022, the charters and the subcharters instructed the vessel to proceed to the terminal and following that to Siba Marine Terminal to load a cargo of crude oil and then to Rotterdam in Holland to discharge the cargo. The late date was then set or narrowed to August 8, 2022. They further averred that the subcharters BP likely failed to inform the terminal of his change and or to ensure that the correct paperwork was in place. Though admitting that the Nigerian Navy told them at about 9 p.m. to follow it to the Bonnet Fairway Buoy for investigation, MT Heroic Edon, however, stated that it declined because its master feared that moving close to the Nigerian shore at night was too risky because of piracy concerns. There was also confusion over the name of the Nigerian vessel, which at that time was misspelled Agola, and they could not be found on Google as a registered naval vessel. They added. The claimants averred further that the interdiction by Equatorial Guinea was unlawful and breached United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea Articles 58, 87, 97, and 100 relating to the innocent passage and the right to be on the high seas without interference. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy Chief of Policy and Plans, Rear Admiral Said Garoba, said The brazen act of the defense to constitute authority by the captain of the vessel necessitated the Nigerian Navy to invoke the collaboration of neighboring Equatorial Guinea through the Yaoundé architecture to arrest the vessel, as we noticed that it started making way in Equatorial Guinea waters. And that is all you have to know about the stolen crude oil. Now they have turned back to tell us another different story. I don't know what this Nigeria is turning into. This is a story that is make wave in the internet as of last 2 months ago. That they caught a vessel that stole how many? About 3 million barrels of crude oil. That is what the vessel stole from our water, and the vessel was intercepted in Equatorial Guinea. Now they came up with another different story, telling us that those vessels have nothing in them. They are just arrested for nothing. Kiniko. I don't know what to believe, but one thing is for sure, that all these people that is keep on mismanaging the funds, mismanaging the what will I call it? Mismanaging the mineral resources that we have in Nigeria that we use to better the lives and the infrastructure of Nigerian. They are using it for their own selfish desire. They have to be extra careful, because the day of reckoning is coming, and they will all be paid in their own coins. So my great people of Biafra, the lovers of freedom and the lovers of mankind, we all have had it on our neck, because what is happening in Nigeria is really is really nothing to write home about, because Nigeria have turned to a playground whereby anyone can come in, play the way they like, and live at any time they like. That is what Nigeria is all about at the moment. 2020, Tinubu most sellable candidate, Ribadu, is saying. Pioneer chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nuhu Ribadu, has said that all the Progressive Congress presidential candidates, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, is the most sellable of those vying for the presidency in 2023. Why can't you support him? Nuhu Ribadu, you are still owing Nigeria. Nuhu Ribadu, you were indicted for corruption when you are the EFCC boss. After you, then Magu also indicted for corruption. Why can't you support Tinubu? Because he is a corrupt leader like you. So why can't you support him, so that you will get a post to complete what you have started? Ribadu, who doubles as the director of the stakeholders relation for the Presidential Campaign Council, stated this at the official inauguration of the 132-member Directorate of the APC and PCC. This was as he warned the party not to underrate the candidates of other political parties ahead of the 2023 elections. Ribadu expressed optimism that the February 25 poll will be a walkover for the former Lagos State governor. Inauguration ceremony, which took place at the PCC campaign office in Abuja, was officiated by the former Osun State governor and APC founding national chairman, Chief Bisi Akande, while stating that Tinubu would sweep the presidential election going by the level of grassroots work done so far. The former anti-corruption agency boss also cautioned that no candidate should be taken for granted. He said, "We should not underrate our opponents. We should work assiduously to make the margin of winning too wide that the victory will be massive and sweet." Luckily for us, our job is to cut out for us. We have the most sellable product in the market today. There's no one candidate out there that is better than our own. Asiwaju Tinubu is an accomplished human being and a true breed administrator and maverick politician. He has something to show from his glowing antecedent. He will not lean on the job, according to you. He also has a wide network of friends and associates everywhere in Nigeria, which makes our job of outreach very much easier. Though this election is literally a walkover for us, we should not leave anything to chances. While charging the 132 members of the Directorate to work harmoniously as one family in an atmosphere of cordiality, Ribadu explained that they were drawn from various fields of human endeavors. Ribadu added that He had no doubt that the directorate would deliver the goods ahead of the 2023 general elections. To ease operations, we have decided to divide the operations of the directorate into north and south. This is done to ensure that our work is targeted and thorough. We are also adopting a bottom-up and down-bottom approaches simultaneously through the creation of the thematic area units and leadership at zonal and state levels. That is what we heard from the Mumu Ribadu, who stole Nigerian funds and was ejected from the EFCC office as boss. The work will be guided with clear terms of reference to guide our operators and assign tasks. Immediately after this formal event, we will discuss in detail and provide you with the necessary guidance to hit the ground running. Midway through the program, I can then disclose that he was impressed with the composition of the new directorate. He also believed they would continue with the victory of the ruling party from where they stopped in May 29, 2015. This is even as he expressed confidence that Tinubu has what it takes to administer the country despite the aversion of some Nigerians to the party's Muslim ticket. And that is what we hear about those who never want, about all these never do well politicians. And it pains me so much that people who are campaigning for Tinubu have one question or the other to answer regarding corruption and how they have siphoned public funds and use it for their own selfish interests or for their own stomach infrastructure. But well, nevertheless, the person they are campaigning for is also a swindler. He's also a money launderer and also have a case to answer in the U.S. court about narcotics. How involved in dealing with narcotics and the rest of other substances that make life miserable for the people. My great people of Biafra, the lovers of freedom and lovers of mankind, this is where I am going to end this broadcast because I have already talked much on this and I don't want my broadcast to be more than 30-something minutes or even 40 minutes. So I love you all and want you to understand that I'll keep on bringing news as it falls to you as the way it should be written. This is Okute Daily Talk, where we speak undiluted truth about the things of life, about Nigerian politics, and about those who have made this country to bend or to where it was at the moment. So at the coming way again, please, if you are not subscribed to my channel, endeavor to do so as soon as possible. Like and comment on, and also share my content to your family, brothers and sisters, all those ones who love what I'm doing, whether they are home or abroad. Please, I still remain your one and only Okute. Until I come your way again, bye for now. Okay, Messiano.